guys, Holding Ice with you here, bringing you Black Clover Anime Review, episode 67, titled A Fun Festival Double Date. This episode was really good. As you see in the thumbnail, you have Captain Yami in like these Japanese like gear for festival, and he does like this real festival dance, and everyone's around him clapping for him, saying, "We're gonna have a festival today." And this festival is known as the Star Festival. And basically what it is that at the end of the night of the festival, the Wizard King himself will announce all, the top 3 guilds that are all the, not guilds, but the squads with the highest stars. And Asta and Noelle was pumped about this, but then Yami broke them the bad news, saying that they have over negative 50 stars, and we're always dead last. We're never in the top. So from them being real happy about this, is like they got kind of sad, but at least they still get to enjoy the festival, so they got be happy again. And they all prepared and they left to go to the festival. But while they were going there, Asa said something very unique to Finville. He was like, "I want you to bring somebody over here." And I thought, it'll probably be, his sister and the kids from the orphanage, but no. The people who he actually brought over was actually I believe her name is pronounced Kohana. Her and her brother, Kayato, from the Water Temple. He brought them over, and Noelle was happy to see them. But at the same time, even though they were happy to be there at this festival, because they'd never been to a festival on the surface were, they felt kind of sad too, because, her brother got his leg damaged and she has her throat damage. But then Asa did something very unique, and he asked, "Do you still have your damaged leg?" And he's like, "Yeah, I have it in a magic container in water, so it won't decay or whatever." And he's like, "Oh good, you have it with you, that's great." And then he took out this white little medicine bottle and he opened it. And we see like these red strings come out and grab their feet and their throat and start pumping blood into it. And then it's reverting the damage it's took in. And they got back to normal, and Asa was like, "We got this blood magic from the Queen of the Witches. I asked for an extra copy just for y'all." And they got so happy, they both started crying. And like they both, like Kayato had hugged Asta, and Asta's like, okay. And his sister Kohana, she started hugging Noelle, crying, and Noelle was even crying out of happiness that they got their limbs back and they could sing and dance, because that was their dream, is to sing and dance. Kohana, she wanted money, and her brother just wanted fame and girls. So, common goals, but at least it's realistic, in a magical realm. But it was nice to see that moment. And then we had Magma come in, and Magnus was like, "Will you help me with this fireworks later on tonight?" And he was like, "Well, I want to, but I'm hanging out with these guys." And then he saw, Asa and Noelle with another boy and girl, and he was like, "Oh, you're double dating?" And Noelle got mad, and she's like, "No, never." And she blasted him off with water. And everyone just looking around, just laughing at him. And this gave the inspiration to Kohana. I always pronounce her name Kohana, but it's Kohono. Kohono, she basically decided, okay, bet. She got the idea, okay, let's make this a double date. And then she insisted, "Let's make this a double date, guys." And her brother, of course, liking Noelle, agreed to it. And Noelle and Asta just got freaked out. Noelle got freaked out because she know what a double date is. Asta got freaked out because he didn't know what a double date was. So he was like the complete opposite, which just made it funny. It made it funnier when he actually said what is a double date. And Kohana was basically, or Kohano, I should say, basically was like, "Oh, we're just us in pairs of twos having fun." And she grabs him by the arm and they walk off. And it looked like she likes him, but it's not that she really likes him. The reason why she's doing this double date and getting close to Asta is because she's trying to make Noelle jealous, so Noelle can like open up and tell Asta how she feels. But through like the rest of the episode, it hasn't really gone out that way. Like they tried dancing, they tried shooting games, they tried a haunted house, which Noelle and Asta just snapped and ended up attacking the people there, which was Bahaman and his group of Prey Mantis people that he's always with. They wrecked that house. That house got wrecked. And, she just keeps trying to, get them to, Noelle jealous to, make a move, but nothing's going on. So she decided to ask Asta, what do you like about Noelle? And before he gets to reply, this girl in the middle of the festival started crying real loud. And all the nobles are looking down and talking bad about her, saying this is some peasant child, why is she here messing up the festival, her crying. And the whale's trying to talk to her, saying, where's your mom and what's your name? But the girl's just too scared, so she keeps crying. So Asta, being Asta, had asked Kohono, can I use the ball that she won in her game for, because she had won a bouncing ball. And he took that, and he also had some bouncing balls as well. Not as big as hers, but he had them. So what he did was he rolled in front of her on it while juggling. Anyways, she saw Asa doing it. She paused and she looked up. And then Kohana started singing and her brother started dancing. And everyone started being happy and everyone started looking, and they forgot about the prejudice towards the little girl, and the little girl forgot about her sadness, and she stopped crying and she was looking in amazement at them. And then towards the end, Noelle stepped in and she made like a little whirlpool thing over them. And it was pretty nice, all four of them hooking up to do this. Just on the fly, no practice, just added their talents on top of each other and made it was pretty cool. And after the girl calmed down, Noelle asked her, what's your name? And she said, my name's Elma and I got lost. And she's basically looking for her mother. So, Noelle, being very smart, she asked Kohano, can you use your voice magic to echo out Elma's voice to, pick up her mother? And she did, and the mother came, and the mother said, thank you, I'm very grateful that you found my daughter. But then she realizes that Noelle has like 2 golden cresses on her side holding her shirt up, and it's the crest of the Silver family. And she realizes that she's royalty. So she gets real scared and she starts like begging and hoping, hope my daughter didn't offend you in a way. I'm really, really sorry this happened, this inconvenience and stuff like that. And again, you got the people there, the higher nobles, just looking down on the lady and her daughter for, talking to her, them being commoners talking to a royalty, which is not allowed. And they stated that it's not even allowed for someone who's common or a peasant to talk to a royalty. But Noelle broke the ice by saying, no matter if you're peasant, common, rich, or nobody, this is a festival and we're all meant to have fun and enjoy yourself. So let's stop discriminating and making our hearts ice cold, and let's get along for this festival and have fun. And then she did a fist bump, and everybody else did fist bumps, and they were all happy, and they just continued their day, and, they started to get along a little bit more, everybody there and stuff, and the mother and the daughter was real happy. You can see it in their facial expression, and they thank Noelle again. Then Asta comes up, and he finally answers the question that was given to him earlier by Kohono. What do you like about Noelle? And in this episode, he just looked at Noelle and he says, I like you, Noelle. But in the manga, he says, I like Noelle's kindness and good heart. And, unlike other, shonen protagonists where they might say this to themselves or to another person in a low voice, he actually said this out loud because Asta's a loudmouth. So everyone, especially Noelle, heard him. And she just freaked out and she's like, what do you mean you like me? And she got so freaked out and started blushing and scared that she just basically she made a waterfall under Asta and she blew him away. And at the same time he getting blown up in the air, Magna was doing, shooting his firecrackers. So it was like he got hit by water up in the air, but he's still getting hit by fire as well. So it was a funny moment. And then the episode ends with him landing in front of Captain Yami and Jack. And they're about to square off. And that was the end of the episode. It was a good episode. I love this episode a lot. It was very comedic and chill. But it did get the story a little bit more forward because now we know about the star system. I mean, it was told before in the first couple of episodes of Black Clover about this little star system. But it's nice to get this refreshment. We're getting the story up as well because Kohana and her brother, they got their limbs back and now they can basically do their job and sing and stuff, and that's gonna make the relationship between them and their people stronger and better. And who never knows, we may see more of them in the future. And it was also nice to see progress with Asta and Noel. I mean, one of the most annoyingest shonen like tropes in mangas is basically the guy being like too dense about the girl that likes him, especially if she's like the main, female protagonist, and like they never like they never reconcile their situation to like the end, and somehow they just get together, like how in Ichigo and Orihime from Bleach, after the 10-year time skip in the last chapter, boom, they got together and have a kid. Spoiler alert for those that didn't know. Same thing with the end of Naruto. In the end, he just accepted Hinata's feelings and married her, and they have kids in the end as well. And it's like, but we didn't get to like really see like the male protagonist actually realize that like they liked them earlier. It's always something that just happens in the end of the series, and then they hurry it up and rush to like marriage, kids, and boom, adults age. And I'm happy that in Black Clover, even though it has that harem feeling, because so many girls like Asta, but he's too dense to realize it, like in most harems, at least Asta had the nerve and the courage to actually say face to face to Noel in front of people, I like you. So that's the start. He didn't say I love you, but he said I like you, so everything gotta start somewhere, right? So that was a really big improvement in his part, and Noel's, and Kohana's and her brother. That showed a lot of each of them. So especially for Asta, because he's the main character. So it's nice seeing this. But I can't wait for next week's episode. Supposedly Captain Yami and Jack are supposed to square off, and Asta and Noel and someone else is gonna be there as the ref. So, and I'm not sure if they're gonna square off and fighting each other, or they're gonna do some other type of competition against each other. Who knows? It looked like they were fighting in the preview, but I have a feeling they're gonna turn it into a joke, most likely, because they're still part of the festival arc that we're in. But again, this was a great episode, 10 out of 10. If you have not watched it, I advise you to watch it. If you already watched it, go watch it again. Beautiful episode. It was funny. It had good dialogue. The art and animation was good. Yeah, there was no fighting, but you don't always need a fighting scenes or episode to make it a good episode. So, good episode, but like, comment, share, subscribe, share with your family and friends. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Not just for me, for anyone you subscribe to, because YouTube lately won't give you like the notifications usually if you don't hit that bell. So make sure you hit that bell. For me and any other YouTuber you subscribe to, follow me on Twitter. My link will be down below. And I'll see you in the next one.